Mobile apps generate a lot of revenue. If you take a look at recent statistics posted by monetizemore.com, you'll see that the top 200 apps ranked in the App Store earn on average $82,000 plus every day. But if you've ever worked with implementing subscriptions, in-app purchases, or paywalls within your application, you know that it can be an extremely difficult and daunting task to get right. You have to do a lot of testing to deduce what type of paywalls work and the different pricing mechanisms that you can actually implement to increase the revenue that you can generate from your application. And this is an iterative process that takes a lot of time and a lot of resources to be able to determine what works for your app, what's the correct pricing strategy, what type of paywalls you can show to the user that are actually going to convert the most amount of users and then generate you the most amount of revenue that you can from your application. And I used to struggle with this a lot until recently I pondered upon Superwall. Superwall has kindly decided to sponsor today's video as well. And Superwall is an excellent platform that allows you to quickly build and test paywalls without shipping updates. Superwall has a ton of cool features that we're going to be exploring in today's video. This includes the ability to create visually stunning paywalls using their visual editor and then publish them on the fly, allowing you to showcase these to the end user without shipping any updates to your app. We'll also be taking a look at setting up campaigns, defining specific triggers within our application that are going to then enable us to show different paywalls to different users. We'll take a look at implementing A/B testing, as well as the actual templates library that they have, where they have a ton of different already designed paywalls that you can just drag and drop within your application in just a few clicks. Besides the awesome features that I've just detailed to you, Superwall is trusted by some of the biggest apps that are on the App Store. They service over 30 million monthly paywalls that equate to around 700,000 conversions every month. So this means out of the 30 million paywalls that they show to their end users, 700,000 of those actually end up converting and making money to the app developers. And the best part is that you can get started with Superwall for free. You can do 250 conversions every month for free before they start charging you. And their SDK supports Flutter, and it's very easy to integrate it into your Flutter application. So with that said, let's actually take a look at Superwall. So to get started with Superwall, what you can do is actually come to their website, register an account with them, and then basically come into their dashboard, register your application, and then you're going to be presented with a UI similar to this. Superwall's interface, I have to give it to them, is very easy to navigate through. There are a couple of key components here that we're going to be discussing, and I'll show you how they link up to our actual Flutter application and how we can use these to then service different paywalls within our application and implement paywall logic. So once you're within the Superwall dashboard, the first thing that I'm going to be showing you guys is that how easy it is to integrate Superwall within your application. So to integrate Superwall, all you have to do are three things. The first thing that you have to do is come to the actual docs. I'm going to leave a link to this down in the description below, and basically come to the point where it says Flutter. You just need to add the Superwall kit Flutter dependency to the actual pub/spec file. From there, just do Flutter pub get, set some of the configuration parameters for iOS and Android that are just defining the minimum platform for iOS as well as Android, and that's pretty much all we had to do. Once the basic installation is done, all it takes to actually initialize Superwall is just a single line of code where you determine what the actual platform is on which your application is running, and then call superwall.configure. That's going to do everything for you. And then once the actual configuration for the SDK done, it's as easy as calling superwall.share.register event. I'll come to what events are, and then defining a callback function, which is going to be called in the case that the actual event showcases a paywall, the user ends up subscribing to whatever product we show on that paywall, then whatever code is defined within this callback function is going to be called. Let's actually take a look at what the actual power of Superwall is. So the first thing that I'm going to be showing you is that I've integrated paywall within this application that you're seeing currently on the simulator. I've, within the actual main function for my application, called superwall.configure and given it my API key. And then from there, I have this very simple home page where I have this actual floating action button that calls one single line of code, which is superwall.share.register event. I haven't written any code for how my actual paywall is going to look. I haven't written any code for what the products in my actual paywall are going to be. All I've written is this one single line of code that registers an event called unlock content, and I'll show you how this ties up with Superwall. And if the user then ends up buying whatever product I'm showing on the paywall, then the actual feature callback function is called, and I set state for is the user now subscribed to true. So let's test it out and let's see the power of Superwall. So if I click on this button, you're going to see that I see this very awesome paywall being shown on my app. and it shows that you can try Super App Plus. You can see that it says rule your competition, become superhuman, and all of this UI for this actual paywall has been designed using the visual editor that Superwall provides us. So let's just say that now what I want to do is, without shipping any updates, update my paywall. Maybe I don't like the fact that the color here for the button is a bit different, or I'd like to change the text. It's very simple. All I have to do is come to the Superwall dashboard, come to the paywall section where I've defined or set up all of the different paywalls that my app supports. For now, you can see I only have one paywall active. I have another one that I've created, and I'll show you how we can use multiple different paywalls. But if I click on this paywall, it's going to take me to the visual editor, which is an excellent way through which I can design how my paywall looks on my app. And it's going to take care of everything from making sure that it's responsive on different devices and how it looks on different devices. And as you can see, it looks great. Let's just say that, for example, I decide that, hey, the actual paywall looks good, but I want to change this image maybe, or I want to change the title. So instead of saying try Super App, let's just say that become a Super App user. And then besides this, I also like to change the color for this actual button. All I have to do is then within this actual visual editor, find where my button is. And then I can see that the button actually derives its color from my theme. So I can go into the theme section and change the color here. So instead of using blue, let's just say that I want to go for something green. I set it green, and now you can see that the actual color for the paywall has changed. Now I can do publish. That's pretty much all I have to do. I don't have to change anything within my code base. These updates are going to be shipped instantaneously on the fly to the end users when this paywall is actually displayed to the user. So now if I minimize the browser window, come back to my application and start debugging it, I'm going to resume the video once the actual application is running on the simulator, and you'll see that the new paywall that is going to be showed to us is going to have the updated styling and the updated text applied to it. Welcome back, everybody. So as you can see, the application is running once again on my simulator, but this time when I click on the actual button, you're going to see that voila, the paywall is now showing me different colors because I had updated the theme for it using that visual editor, and I've actually changed the text here for the paywall as well. So this is going to allow me to quickly iterate over the different paywalls that I have integrated within my application, and then test to see which paywalls work, which ones don't, and kind of deduce what is going to be the best paywall for my application that is going to allow me to convert the most amount of people and generate the most amount of revenue from my app. But this is not the only cool feature. Let me show you something that's much cooler than this. I know that us as indie developers have a very difficult time coming up with good designs. You can go on to dribble.com. That's a cool website where you can take a look at designs, but to create a completely cohesive experience, it takes a little bit of design work to actually bring everything together and make sure that all of the different screens within your application look the same. If you want some inspirations for some paywalls that other users have created or the Superwall team has created that you can instantly duplicate within your actual project, what you can do is come to the template section here, and here you can see all of the different paywalls that you can just duplicate and quickly integrate within your own application. So let's just say that I've deduced that, okay, there's this one paywall that's shown to, let's just say 50% of the user within my application, but I'd like to test, hey, maybe there's another design that I can show you to the rest of the 50% of the users within my application, and maybe that paywall is going to be better converting, or decide which paywall better converts for my actual application. So I can browse through these templates. I can start from scratch or browse through these templates. I'm just going to assume that I'm going to be starting from these templates. So if I keep scrolling through the templates library, you're going to see that there's a ton of different templates here that are already designed for you, which you can implement within your application. But in any case, if you have a special request, what you can do is come to the top and actually request a template from the Superwall team, and they're going to build it for you within 1 week. So that's an excellent feature as well. So let's decide what other template I'd like to use. So if I scroll through these templates, let me find one that I like. I think this one looks good, the Mimo one. So let's use it. So I'll click on it and I'll be like, duplicate this paywall within this actual app. So I'll do use template. And there we go. With this done, it's going to go ahead, duplicate this paywall and add it to the paywall section within Superwall for this app that I have. The first thing that I'm going to be doing is actually changing the color scheme. So I'll say that, okay, we're going to have some kind of a greenish color scheme. So let's do that. There we go. Now the color scheme has changed to green, and the background is going to be something like this. So maybe a darker greenish kind of a vibe is going to look good. Once this is done, the next thing that I'm going to be doing is that I've set up the theme. I can come back to the layouts and click on my nav bar. and see all of the options that I have here. So what I'd like to do here is basically come to the background image and change the background image. So the background image is going to be coming from this URL. We can upload our own background image or something like that. So for that, what I'll do is come to Pexels, because they provide us with some free stock photos. And I'm going to say that we can use, for example, this image that we're seeing here. And then I will say that, okay, copy this image's address, come back to the actual Paywall editor, paste this in, press enter, and there we go. I've now designed a custom paywall using a template. The next thing that I'm going to be doing is changing this text, or instead of changing this text, just removing it by doing delete on the logo. And then I can say that instead of it saying unlock desktop projects, let's just say unlock super app. And then we can do the following here for the text, which is with super app, you get full access to everything on this app. And then I can do super app plus here. There we go. And with this done, the last thing that I'm going to be doing is actually showing you guys the ability to quickly add dynamic values to your actual paywall, which are going to be derived from the products that you've added within your Superwall dashboard. So if I come to my Superwall dashboard, you're going to see that I currently have 2 products that are added to my actual application. And these products are the ones that I create within App Store or Google Play. And then I've just imported them using their store product IDs here. Just as a quick side note, Superwall also supports RevenueCat. So if you're using RevenueCat to drive in-app purchases or subscriptions for your application, then they have first-class support for that. But if you do not want to use RevenueCat, Superwall can also handle basic logic for you. But so now within products, I can see that I have these different products. I have a Super App Plus monthly, I have a Super App Plus annual, and these are just different subscriptions. One is a monthly subscription for my app, one is an annual subscription. So if I want to show these actual products on this actual paywall, all I'm going to be doing is clicking on one of these. And then as you can see, this is a product selector. And then I'm going to specify which product I'm going to be using. So I'm going to say that the action is going to be select product, and the product is going to be a product here, which is missing. So to add a product, what I can do is basically come to the product section here, click on add a product. I'm going to say that the reference name is going to be primary, and say, there we go, primary is monthly, and then another product, secondary, which is going to be annual. Then I can come back to the Paywall editor, click here, say that the action is going to be select product, and the product is going to be the first primary, and do done. There we go. And then for the next one, it's going to be, again, select a product, but this time we're going to do is going to be second, which is going to be secondary. There we go. If you want to change the text here, which is that instead of showing 1 month, we maybe want to show the price, we can do that as well. So for example, I want to show 1 month here, but here I want to show the actual price. I can click here on this text, and then I can add the price here. So to add the price, we can actually just do the following. Within this text field, we can do add variable, then click on products. So for this, we want to show the monthly price. So I'm going to do the actual selected products, and then I can do price, or the monthly price, or whatever it is, I can do price. And there we go. And then I can do slash, and then month. There we go. That's all we had to do. And then once this is done, I can come back here, and I can say that here, I want to remove this text, which is for paid. So let's remove that. And now that I'm showing only 12 months here, I'm going to come here, and I'm going to do per year, like so. And then here, I can actually add the variable again. And then here I can add another value. So I can do that. We're going to be adding a variable. It's going to be products. It's going to be the secondary product, because that's the yearly one. And then I am going to do that. We are going to add the actual price here, which is going to be, there we go. And that's pretty much all we had to do. So you can see that now our actual paywall is pulling information using these dynamic variables and then populating our actual UI. And then seeing that for 1 month, it's $3.99, for 12 months, it's $39.99. And this is the actual pricing data that I've defined within the product section within Superwall. So with this, that's pretty much it. This is what I want in terms of the actual pay for my app. So I can click on publish, and there we go. I've published the actual paywall. And this was pretty much all I had to do. So now with the paywall published, the next thing that I need to do is come to the actual dashboard once more and come to the campaigns section. And campaigns are basically the mechanism we use to show our paywalls, run experiments, see revenue statistics, and a whole bunch of other things like that. So here, As you can see, I've created a main campaign, and you can create as many different campaigns as you'd like for your application, and for different campaigns use different paywalls. For example, you can have a campaign for users that open the app for the 20th time and haven't subscribed yet, show a specific paywall to them, which gives them a huge discount on the yearly subscription. But users that just want to unlock specific content when they click on a specific button like I show here, maybe then they can go through the main campaign. So for the main campaign, I can come within here and I can come to the actual audiences section. And you can see that for all users, I've defined some paywalls. So I'm saying that currently all of the users are going to see this specific paywall that we're seeing here. But what I'd like to do is add another paywall here, and that is going to be the one that I just created. So I can click on paywall here and select the Mimo one, click create, add, and now the Mimo one is added here as well. But currently, all of the users are still going to be shown this paywall. What I'd like to do is firstly reset all of the assignments and then define the actual percentages for what users are going to be shown what paywall. So I can say that 50% of the users are going to see the first paywall and the 50% of the users are going to see the other paywall. And with this done, I've already made changes to my campaign on the fly, and all of this logic is now going to be handled by Superwall. And on the app side of things, I don't need to publish any updates. I don't have to wait for any reviews. All of this is going to be instantly available to the end user. Here you can see under the placement section, I've defined an actual condition called unlock content, and this is the actual trigger that I'm talking about. You can add as many event names as you'd like here. Superwall has some already defined for you. For example, when the user installs the app, I would like to show them a paywall. If they respond to a survey, I'd like to show them a paywall. But what I've done is actually added a custom event called unlock content. So once I've created this custom event, all I'm going to be doing is basically calling superwall.share.register event and unlock content. And then this event corresponds to the event that I've specified here for the main campaign. And now Superwall is going to handle all of the logic for me, from determining how to split up the actual A/B testing, how to show 50% of the users that are using my application the first paywall and the other 50% the other one. So with this done, let's actually do this. Let's actually then minimize our actual application. And let's restart our Flutter application once again, and let's see if the actual changes that we've made are now being reflected on the device, and if we see our new paywall. It might not work because there's a 50% chance that we might be assigned to the group of the first paywall that we had already created, but let's just try to test it out and see how it goes. So if I click here, you can see that now I'm shown a different paywall. So there we go. Now I'm being shown this paywall, and a cool feature here is that even though when we had designed our actual paywall, we had actually added the product prices in US dollars, when this actual information is displayed to the user, it localizes all of the information for them based upon whatever localization that they have. If I come back to the actual campaign, what I'd like to do is show you the results tab. So here the results tab is going to be showing you that, hey, you have these two different paywalls. They have 50% weight. This is how many views both of them have gotten. Currently, because this is a development environment or a testing environment, we're not showcasing anything here, but it's going to show you all of these different statistics, and then you can make a decision upon which paywall works best for you and then use that paywall. You can add as many paywalls as you'd like here. So for example, instead of 2 paywalls, you can have 4 different paywalls, each of them getting 25% weight, and then 25% of the users will be shown one paywall, the other 25% another one, so on and so forth. But if I decide, okay, I've concluded from my actual experiments that the first paywall, which has a review, works the best for my application, and I'd like to end the actual testing process, all I'll have to do is just reset all of the assignments. That's just something that's an optional step, and then just basically redefine the weights for these paywalls. So I'm going to say that now all of the users are going to see the first paywall, not the second paywall. And then that's pretty much it. Now my campaign has been updated. So with that, what I'm going to be doing is coming back and then restarting my application. And hopefully this time when we again see a paywall, it's going to be a different one. So now if I go ahead, since the application is running once again, click on this button, you're going to see that we're shown the first paywall. Since our campaign was automatically updated on the fly, I can click on continue here and look at the power of Superwall. By just writing a single line of code, I have the ability to dynamically run A/B testing, show different paywalls to different users, use a visual editor to actually build all of my paywalls so I don't have to worry about writing code, update these paywalls on the fly without shipping any updates, and handle the subscription logic. But I'm not going to be buying the subscription just yet because there's another cool feature that I'd like to show you. And that is that, let's just say that for some reason I'd like to collect some feedback from the user in the case that they end up not subscribing. So when they click on this close button, I'd maybe like to show a form to the user to maybe get input from them so that I can have some data points on whether maybe the users are not subscribing because the app isn't useful to them, maybe they want more features, or maybe they just think that the app's much more expensive than the price they're willing to pay. Well, Superwall also has a feature for that. So what I can do is come to the actual dashboard once again and come to the section which says surveys, and then adding a new survey. And then it's going to ask me what the title of my survey is going to be. So I'm going to say not interested because they ended up not deciding to buy a subscription. I'm going to say please share why, give them some options, and then I'll say that they'll have the ability to provide their own response by saying that we're going to say show other. The percentage of paywall users who are going to see this actual survey is going to be 100, and which paywalls do I want to attach this survey to. So in my case, I'm going to say that I'm going to attach it to the Superwall template, and then I'm going to say that when the user closes the paywall, then I want to basically show this actual survey. So I do connect, and with this done, that's pretty much all we had to do. So now I do save. This is going to create the survey for me. And once again, I won't have to ship any updates. All of these changes are now automatically going to be shipped and shown to the user. So now what I'm going to be doing is coming back to the actual Flutter application. And now with the application running, if I click on this lock, there you go. It's showing me the actual subscription paywall. If I close it, there we go. We actually have the survey opening up as well. So I can say, for example, it's too expensive, or I don't pay for app. Let's just say too expensive. There we go. The app all closed gracefully, and I was able to implement some form logic or survey logic within my application. And now I can come back to the actual service tab. And here I can see, so if I go to the other survey that I had recently created, which is this one, I believe, they're going to say that one user said that it's too expensive, and that's pretty much all the responses that we had gotten till now. But if I come to the one that I'd already created, you can see that if I come to the stats section, we can also see the written feedback that other people have given if we click on view other responses. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope that you understand a thing or two about how Superwall works. If you're serious about building mobile applications, then there's going to come a point when you'll have to implement some kind of a in-app purchase or subscription-based model within your application. As Superwall is an excellent choice for building this logic because one, is going to provide you with a ton of tools that are going to allow you to effectively create stunning paywall experiences for your end users and hopefully convert more users than you were doing before, allow you to ship updates on the fly, and perform all of the testing that you need to do from under one roof to deduce what are the specific experiments that were successful for your application and squeeze the most revenue that you can from your actual app. So with that, that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys are interested in a detailed tutorial where I take you through the step-by-step process of how to integrate Superwall with your Flutter application, then leave a comment down below letting me know, and I'll try my best to create a video on that. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, then please don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel so that you get notified every time I release a new video. And stay happy, stay healthy, keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.